Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in the #1 suburb in all of Denver? There's a reason why Highlands Ranch tops the list year after year. And today, you're about to see why. Today, I'm going to give you a treat, a full driving tour through Highlands Ranch so that you can experience the homes, the views, the lifestyle, and the hidden gems that make this suburb one of the most sought after places to live in Colorado. So our first stop is we're going to check out the Highlands Ranch Golf Club. So right now we're situated in Westridge, which is actually kind of cool because Highlands Ranch developed by Mission Viejo back in the day, 40 years ago. Mission Viejo, a California company, developed Highlands Ranch, Colorado, and planned for it to be this huge multi-plan development. And they executed their plan almost to perfection. They ended up doing 4 different rec centers. Eastridge on the east side of town, obviously self-explanatory, right? Northridge, Westridge, and Southridge. So you've got some very cool rec center amenities that are really unheard of throughout the rest of the country. This is actually the biggest HOA in the USA, with over 100,000 people paying into it. And the dues right now are very reasonable. It's about $173 per quarter. So we're talking less than $60 a month to have access to all of that. And I'll show you as we go, like a lot more that it has to offer than just the rec centers. But we're going to start here in the Highlands Ranch Golf Club, which is a really cool part of town. A lot of semi-custom Shea homes. Shea is a big builder, and they actually carried out a lot of the development with Mission Viejo. They bought it from Mission Viejo and carried out the project after Mission Viejo wanted it to sell out. And so we've got an amazing setting here with a golf course that's now owned by the University of Denver. So DU took it over about 7 or 8 years ago. And you've got a full 18-hole course and mountain views of the Highline Canal. It's a lot of slope change too, so a lot of up and down for golfers. And you have 3 different tiers in the golf club. There's like more, 800,000 to 1.2 million range. This is kind of more your second tier right here, where you get homes that are like 1.2 to 1.5 million dollars. And then we go on to Hunter's Way and Stonecrest and Hunter's Point over here. This section over here is where you get some of the big boys, like the more custom homes that are selling for, anywhere from 1.5 to 2.3 million. And we just had a listing sell here a couple weeks ago for just under 2 million. And we had it on the market for a little bit in the fall. Took it off for the holidays, came back, and spring market was hot, and it sold in the first weekend with multiple offers. So definitely homes are moving in great neighborhoods like this one. We see it happening all the time. So I'll show you some of these bigger homes that are fun to look at here in the golf club. And a lot of these, especially the ones on Stonecrest Way here, they all have these amazing expansive views of the golf club behind it and all of the mountain range behind it as well. So it's tough to beat. Pretty amazing. There are some people back here that have pickleball courts in their backyard. They've got like full sport courts, and some of these have up to like a half-acre lot, and so you get some really nice space for landscaping. Others are tighter. The mid-tier, first tier in the golf club, you get some 0.2 acre lots. Some of those tighter spaces, but these homes are absolutely beautiful, and Shea did all of these in here. So these are all Shea homes. You can see the golf course behind, basketball court up there, little water slide into a pool. So really nice area. And again, this is in Westridge if you're looking at all 4 quadrants in Highlands Ranch, and very close to the Westridge Rec Center. So this is the clubhouse here for the Highlands Ranch Golf Club. And you got an incredible clubhouse. They maintain this course so well. It's just meticulous. The greens are always in great shape, and they actually have pretty wide fairways too. So it makes it a course that is not impossible to play. It makes me feel pretty good about my game. So I really like that aspect of it. You might shoot a few shots better because it does have some challenging greens, and there are some lakes, there's some hazards, lots of bunkers, that sort of thing, but it actually, like, off the tee is one of the easier courses to play, I think. They do have some good membership options as well. So you can either be a full-time member that just can play unlimited. You can also be a semi-private member. So you're like a corporate membership where you just get so many rounds per year to share with whoever. And then you can also play as the public. So it's also open to the public. So they call it a semi-private course, but anybody can get on and play. But if you do like the punch card thing, then you get discounted rates, which is nice. There is no discount for living in the golf club. So that's a question I get a lot, that there's nothing there. So it's just normal price for anyone that wants to join. Here's the entrance. One of the entrances. There's actually 3 entrances to the golf club here. Next stop, we're going to take you by the Westridge Rec Center so you can get a feel for what these rec centers are all about. So as we're driving by the rec center here, I'll show you there is a new construction community, which is like so unique in our market because Highlands Ranch has been built out for a while now. But this elementary school zoning expired, and Richmond Homes actually picked it up. They bought it from the county who owned it for a school zone. They ended up not needing a school here in this little spot because of all the charter schools that have taken off and private schools in the area. And so this is just a new home community now with 48 Richmond homes. And you can see they are shooting up fast, like literally in February. Like this was 2 months ago. This was all dirt, you guys. And this is just like exploding right now. So I thought it was going to take them like 3 years to build this out. I think it's going to take them like a year. It's unbelievable the pace that they're going right now. Just flying, and they are selling too. People are willing to pay 1.2 to 1.4 million for these brand new homes in Highlands Ranch because of the community that you're buying into. So this is all yet to be built, and they're usually 0.15 to 0.22 acre lots. There will be a couple that'll be over a quarter. They front set the homes quite a bit, so you'll still have like a decent backyard, and they all come with finished basements and 3-car garages. Little cul-de-sac there, and all these foundations being laid. And they are cruising. So if you are interested in this new community, I can definitely help you with that as well. We work with buyers on new construction all the time. So just so you can see like the mix of construction styles too, like in some of these communities, these are Sanford homes. Sanford is one of the best production builders we've had in our market. They build a really good looking home that's very practical and like open and nice floor plans. And Sanford sold their business back in like 2006. So they don't build in here anymore. But everybody loves these Sanford homes. So I just want to give you a little glimpse of these. It's a little cul-de-sac here. But yeah, and some of these Sanford homes that are back into open space have sold like over 1.2 million. So they'll compete with these new homes. And then you've got Oakwood homes as well. Lots of 3-car garages, tiled roofs. That's how you know it's an Oakwood. But these they say lifetime roofs. And, a little boxier looking from the outside, but the spacing on the inside is really nice. Like the floor plans are really functional, and a lot of people like it once they go inside on those. Yeah, and there's one listed in this neighborhood for just under $1 million right now, but there have been some that have sold for over 1.1 on these Oakwood homes. So there's the other entrance to the golf club. It's kind of that 3rd tier section of the golf club, and this is just across the street, you guys, from Shea Stadium, which is where they play all their high school football games in Highlands Ranch. And so I'll show you what that looks like. You also have some batting cages here that we're just coming up on now. So here's the batting cages. There's actually 2 sets of batting cages, one at the rec center and then another one here. So for baseball lovers, you can get a season pass to be able to hit a ton of balls. Your practice in. Here is Shea Stadium here. Again, this is where all the high school football games happen. So you get some fun, action-packed Friday night lights here. 4 softball fields as well. Here, this is called Redstone Park, which is one of the bigger park spaces. It's also bordering some open space trails that run all throughout Highlands Ranch. It's a huge park. So it's got a duck pond, it's got a playground, and I'll show you what that looks like here. Oh, the skate park too. This is super cool. They've got this little skate park here where you can come and mess around. My kids love to come here with their scooters, and you see kids doing some crazy tricks with their scooters, skateboards and stuff. You also have some soccer fields here. Saturdays are full of kids playing soccer. You've got quite a few clubs here, Real and United, Rush, some of the bigger ones to mention, but you see, I think Real practices on these courts all the time. And then here's that playground with a little duck pond. You can't see it as well, but everything is just starting to green up, you guys. Like when all these trees fill in and the grass gets really green, it gets even more beautiful here. But there's your park area, little playground. So me and my family use these open space trails all the time to walk the dog, get the kids out, get them off screens, you know, and walk through the community. So it's such a blessing to live in a place like this. Here's all the tennis courts here on your right side. So they have 8 awesome tennis courts that are just really well maintained in this Lebsack Tennis Center that they do lessons out of. They do lots of drills and leagues and everything. So if you're interested in tennis, this is a great spot for that. There you go. There's a good look at the Lebsack Tennis Center and a little walking path with all the soccer fields above. Yeah, Highlands Ranch is such a low crime city too. Just rarely do you have a whole lot of, you know, crime or crazy noise going on. This is a good look at the open space, you guys, and the dog park that's out there. So this is actually just a couple minutes from my house. So we'll walk our dog over there, let him play in the dog park quite a bit, and it's just a really fun spot to let the dogs roam. You'll have like 50, 60 dogs out there on a Saturday. Today there's only like 4 or 5 during the weekday, but it can get pretty busy and they have all kinds of friends to run around with. And hopefully you've been able to see, like, as we've been going through and looking at a lot of these amenities, you're seeing all these mountain views in the background too. Every time we face west, mountains are always on your west here in Colorado. It's something you got to get used to. If you're from Utah, always on the east, right? With the Rocky Mountains being right in between Utah and Colorado. So they did a great job with these communities of having just trees line the main roads. So you get a lot of foliage, you know, especially as these bloom. This is still, like, as we're filming this, we're in April. So like things are just starting to bud and come out. But man, our town gets so much more pretty as you get into May, June, July. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But you see cherry blossoms and lilacs are starting to come out right now, so it's getting pretty. And I think, like, if you're coming from the East Coast, like, you're probably the only ones that are like, oh man, this looks like barren, right? Like, there's not as much foliage as we're used to. It's because the East Coast is just crazy with all kinds of lush foliage all over. Like, we love visiting Hilton Head and some of those places, but here in our town, like compared to maybe Las Vegas or Utah, Arizona, people come here just like, oh my gosh, it's so green. Like, there's so many trees and just like great soil. All right, so we are here at the Westridge Rec Center, and they've got an outdoor pool here where the kids can play, a little water slide. This is the actual main building here, just to give you a feel for what these look like. And they all have cardio, weights, weight machines. You can get your full workout here. And this one also has a daycare. So you'll catch a little glimpse of like the playground for the daycare here. But these guys like are probably dropping off for daycare so they get to work. But there it is on the left side there. You can also do birthday parties here. We did a couple of our kids' birthday parties. They do a great job of letting you use some of the rooms and conference space that they have. We actually did our client Christmas party here for the first couple of years that I was in business, way back in 2012, 13, when I was just getting started at Highlands Ranch. And they have these Westridge Point, you know, like these little subsections, Northridge, Eastridge, Westridge, Southridge. So that way you never forget where you are when you're around town. Also, we have to point out the school system here is amazing, like the best in town. Douglas County schools are incredible. If you look at greatschools.org, you'll see it's hard to find anything lower than like a 7 out of 10 because of how great the school systems are here. So it's definitely a great part of town to have kids, have a family, to see more of those open space trails here. And these just go throughout the whole community. Like, you may have to cross the main road, but then you're back on trails again. If you see these bike lanes on the right side of the road, that's all just designated bike lane. So I'm gonna go over here to the right so you can see, but you'll see the little bike symbols there. So like, you have lots of people that take advantage of these trails and have a great time with these. All right, so now we're gonna look at one of the most walkable areas in Highlands Ranch. This area is called Town Center, and they do some Christmas celebrations here. They've got a big Christmas festival and other like farmers markets they do here on Sundays. This is a cool spot in town. You've got an amazing Highlands Indian cuisine, Matthews Watches, Michael's, Office Max, just different places like that. Fun place to come here and walk. This is a really cool vibe and atmosphere. Home Depot's right there. So you literally have everything you need in town within just a matter of a mile or two. It's unbelievable how connected you are to everything, especially if you're coming from a place that's a little more remote. Some really fun restaurants too here. Lansdowne Arm is a fun little Irish pub, and then Old Blinking Light. They have like a little bit of everything with some outdoor seating too. And you got your Cold Stone, Qdoba, You Break We Fix. I was just there because my son stepped on our iPad. We had to get that fixed. So all those fun things in life that you deal with, right? It's nice to have things close by so you can just get that stuff knocked out. All right, our next stop, we're gonna go check out the crown jewel of Highlands Ranch. This was the last thing that Mission Viejo had planned, the developer, when they built this community. It's called BackCountry. So BackCountry is just this iconic neighborhood. It was the community of the year in 2012 when it first started. And it's been new construction just over the last 13 years. And they built this amazing community that's a gated community, and it is phenomenal. So I'm going to take you through there. All right, so now I'm going to take you through my favorite gated community here in Highlands Ranch called the Highwoods. This place is absolutely incredible. All right, so we're just going through the gates here in the Highwoods. This community is, in my opinion, absolute eye candy. Everywhere you look, you've got custom homes. They're absolutely beautiful. Most of them facing or backing to open space. They did a really good job laying out this community. But every home looks different too. It's very custom. Just love the look of the homes in here. Lots of like cool little balconies like that. Incredible architecture. They do have their own tennis courts and pool back here as well, aside from the 4X centers and everything you get there. These are mostly on like half-acre to an acre lots too. So really spread out, incredible homes. And this is actually bordering up to the Highlands Ranch Mansion, which is a place where you can tour. It's a wedding venue. You've got all kinds of events that happen there. But this was the original mansion that the owners of this land before it became developed on stayed at. So it's a pretty cool spot. So you can see some of these backyards, the size of the yard space. We've got some friends that have done a zip line on their backyard here. And this is all interconnected with this trail system, right? So you got these walking paths and trails all throughout the community. Incredible mountain views back here. Architecture is just incredible in this area. Absolutely love driving through, looking at these homes in the Highwoods. And it does have a second gate, second entrance here. So this home I actually sold for $1.575 million back in 2018, 17, 18. And today it's worth over $2.4 million, with just how things have appreciated. So it just gives you an idea of how much growth and appreciation we had, especially in the luxury market during that pandemic time frame. And things have slowed down over the last couple of years, but we're still seeing some positive gains in the market, even with our price point where it's at, which is incredible. And if you're from California or some of these higher price markets, you're like, that's a deal. What a discount. We can't find a house more than 1,500 square feet for less than $3 million in San Francisco. I know, I've seen some of the videos up there. So you can still, you can get a lot of house for your money compared to some of those other markets. If you're coming from the Midwest or some other lower priced areas, it's definitely a bit of a price shock for you probably, but it's all relative as far as pricing goes. Yep, there's the Rocky Mountains. Great views of it coming down from the mansion here. All right, so there off in the distance, you can see what the backcountry neighborhood looks like. It's all perched up. So at the very top of the hill, they have this amazing place called the Sundial Rim House. And it's got a pool, you got concessions, you got incredible views down to Daniels Park in the open space, and then also the other way to downtown. So we'll go through the front gate here so you can see what that looks like. And we're just driving on one of the main roads here in Highlands Ranch, and you can just see all these like incredible mountain views just straight ahead. We are elevated, so we're like 6,200 feet above sea level compared to Denver. That's about 1,000 feet lower, so more than a mile high. So often you can see views of downtown Denver as well from Highlands Ranch. All right, we're on to BackCountry Drive. So they wanted this neighborhood to feel like a little more of a getaway. And so that's why they did a lot of these more narrow roads to make it look like you're on a trail basically. Okay, so like we said, it is a gated community. You got a little gate attendant here. And it's pretty easy for guests to just say, hey, I'm going to visit this person, But anytime I'm showing a house up here, you know that they're always nice to let me in. My friend Chad, who I play basketball with in the mornings, gave me a code to get through the gate. So we are into the backcountry, and you'll see down on this lower section a lot of Shea homes, kind of similar to what you saw in the golf club. Again, they were a huge developer here for the Highlands Ranch community and pretty much drove the ship for a while. And so lots of open space, landscaping. They wanted to make it look a little bit wild, right? Like you're living in wildlife. You'll see deer, elk, every now and then, mountain lion, a bear will sneak up here and they have to be tagged. But you see the nice little pond here coming into the community. Lots of people walking their dogs, enjoying the outdoors. This is great for training back here because you've got a lot of slope. If you're a triathlete or, you know, training to be an Ironman or something like that, you will see some awesome landscaping in the backcountry. Lots of people that do some pretty cool things with their backyards. Homes are a little tighter in some parts of the community, where you've got, you know, 0.18 to quarter acre lots. However, you get up to the top and that's where you get your multi-million-dollar mansions that are up there, and they're, you know, some of those are on an acre plus. So just depends on where you're at in the community, but price points range from $900,000 all the way up to $10 million. Coach Michael Malone, former coach of the Nuggets, lives up here, and then you've got lots of professional athletes that live in backcountry. So you're starting to see up on the hill there some of the bigger homes in backcountry. And the more we spiral around to the top, to the Sundial Rim House, you'll see more and more of that. So as we get up here, you see more Toll Brothers homes. And then you have a part that's just completely custom. So just different custom builders that have done their own unique thing. Some of them really modern with a ton of glass showing. I'll show you a couple examples of those. You can see there's another little pond. So these are more of the custom homes in backcountry. So here's a little bit of Daniels Park in the open space. So you've got 8,000 plus acres of open space. These are full of mountain bike trails and hiking trails. So people walk and mountain bike on these all the time. And really it's just like the perfect balance of like, you're not just grinding, going uphill, up, 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 up. It's like up, down, hills all throughout the community. So you can do a little 45-minute loop and just have a blast because you're going up and down the whole time and not completely wearing yourself out. All right, so you can see more of these custom homes here. And again, you're like up in the hills, in nature, views of Daniels Park open space on one side, views of downtown Denver on the other side. This is literally just like the crown jewel of Highlands Ranch. Unbelievable community. More modern style here. This is a look at the Sundial Rim House. Very modern in feel, and they wanted this to just feel cutting edge, you know, and just state of the art. So they did a great job with that, and you can imagine the views on the backside of that building, right? All facing that south Daniels Park landscape. All right, so we'll make our way down. You can see the West Range mountains here. It's a really good shot of the Hogback first is what we call it, and then the Rocky Mountains behind it with the Whitecaps. There's also an equestrian center in Highlands Ranch. So if you have horses, plenty of like cool obstacles and different things you can do to train horses and have some fun there. You know, and on this tour, we're looking at homes that are, you know, especially some of these because they're fun to look at, right? That are $6-8 million homes. But just know, like, you can find a starter home in Highlands Ranch, Colorado for $600,000 in our community. So it can be on the affordable side. It's just all about like size, type of construction, location within the community, that sort of thing. And you can buy a townhome condo on the low end. You can get in for $400,000 in certain areas. You can see they do these pavilions. They've got lots of walkways, couple playgrounds throughout the community. I guess the only downside to backcountry is like it is like 10 minutes in, 10 minutes out from the gate. So it takes a little bit longer to get to certain places. Like if you're getting around in town in Highlands Ranch anywhere, just because of that extra commute time. All right, so here is the exit gate. Leaving backcountry. And our next stop is Valor Christian High School. Okay, just kidding, detour. We're gonna do a quick view of Southridge Rec Center as well, because this one is awesome on the left side with lights. We've got an incredible park, paintbrush park with a horseshoe pit, playground. And here is Southridge Recreation Center, the newest of all the recreation centers at Highlands Ranch. This one is incredible on the inside, like nice tall ceilings, really huge atrium. Again, it has weights, cardio, all of that stuff. And then it's got 2 basketball courts. People do badminton there, volleyball. There's leagues for everything in Highlands Ranch. So anything you can imagine as far as leagues go, they have it here. They have a huge catalog that they put out every quarter with all the different activities that you can sign up for and do. And then back the other way there's a couple really nice communities, the Hearth and Firelight, which are newer homes, a lot of them shea homes again. And then bordering those, you have Castle Pines is where Castle Pines starts. Rock Canyon High School is a great high school there. And we're gonna make our way back to Valor Christian High, which is where Christian McCaffrey went. It's where Wyndham Clark went and played golf, was a state champion multiple times before he joined the PGA Tour and won the US Open. So there's some pretty iconic people that have come from Valor Christian. Incredible private Christian school. Tuition, I believe, is like around $21,000 a year or something like that to send your kids there. There's a little discount, I think, for having multiple kids there and some scholarships they do for sports and that sort of thing. But the quality of education and college placement, from what I've heard, is absolutely incredible. So you can't go wrong with a lot of the Thunder Ridge, Highlands Ranch, and Mountain Vista high schools as well. Those are the public schools that are also very great. But if you want that private school experience, there's Arma Day, there is Valor Christian, and then there's a new one coming that's going to be a K-12 at John Adams Academy that's just finishing up right now. You also have Skyview Academy, which is a K-12 3A school. So it's a smaller enrollment, but they have really nice amenities and great programs for kids. So again, it's just like really, really hard to go wrong with schools in Douglas County. That's why a lot of people love it. All right, some Valor's gonna be coming up on our right side here. Honestly, it looks like a college campus. It's incredible just how beautiful the buildings are. Lots of red brick. It looks a lot like DU, actually, when you drive by DU. This is Cherry Hills Church. A lot of people go here. Cherry Hills Christian. It's a huge church that has a school in it too. So it's got its own school K-8. And then a lot of the kids that go to this school funnel into Valor eventually. But it's got a massive church with lots of youth groups and also friends groups, for adults and that sort of thing. So here's Valor Christian. We're on the east side of Highlands Ranch now. So the Westridge Rec Center is not too far away here and really close by. But we'll just get a little look at this campus. See what this is all about. There you go, home of the Valor Eagles. Pretty incredible football stadium here that's just beyond these walls. And then you've got kind of the main academic building and the Valor Center. So Valor consistently has the top sports teams in our town. They're a private school, so obviously they can pull kids from anywhere, so much bigger boundaries than most of the schools have, so that definitely helps them. But you've got just some incredible athletic facilities back here. And 2024, both men and women won state in basketball, and their football team is coached by a lot of ex-Broncos. Ed McCaffrey has been involved there, and you've got quite the coaching roster. It's pretty incredible. Between Cherry Creek and Valor, they're always the contenders, that are battling it out every year. So as you can see, Highlands Ranch has the perfect balance of lifestyle, family amenities, and very well thoughtfully planned out style to offer so much. And that's why it's been one of the top suburbs in the Denver area for the last few decades. So if you'd like a private tour through any of these Highlands Ranch neighborhoods or through some of these Highlands Ranch homes that I've been talking about that fit your budget and your price point, definitely don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help you with that. And also make sure to click on our next video that will give you another area tour and show you how Highlands Ranch compares to some of these other premier Denver suburbs like Lone Tree and Castle Pines.